Indian classical vocalists of this time, Vidushi, Kalal, Ramnath. This is,
Violin.
violinist, sorry, I'm really sorry. The finest Indian classical violinists of this time, Vidushi Kalal Ramnath. This is a great honor to have her as part of this live concert and talk series. So listen to her music and profound, insightful talk that I'm personally looking forward to. I'm expecting some other guests to come in, but in the meantime, if I just check, Kalal Ramnath, I'm not sure. I know that you are quite tired at this time of the night in India, but perhaps most of our audience would be very interested in to listen your performance. Is it possible to check whether just if that's okay to do a bit of sorry.
The problem is,
You can perhaps check if that's okay, and then see at least because audience will be. I mean, I'm thinking about the audience. They may want to listen
it is
live.
very hard for me to talk and play. One reason is you won't be able to see my violin. You
Right.
will only see half of the violin, and I'll have to control moving the computer really far
No,
away.
that's that's understandable.
This is
But
all
is it
you.
possible if at the end we'll listen some? I have chosen some live performance from YouTube. But in the meantime, at the end, at least, after we finish talking,
So
at the end, if,
already I've pushed it. So this is all one can see of
yes,
me.
yeah. So that can be a token.
All like this.
Yeah,
If you want
that's.
just the violin, then that's all you get.
Is it?
Otherwise,
Yeah.
this
Can
is
I
how.
just? Yeah, okay. I can see. What would you see from there? I think it's okay from here.
Yeah, but
I
you
can
don't
see.
get to see the whole violin, right? You don't get to see my
Yeah,
left hand.
yeah. That's something that we perhaps have to compromise. But let us see. Let us see. I would be. I mean, let us see what our audiences think. That's and as usually, I also like to introduce our panel members. Kalal Ramnath. Uh, this is Saudha, one of the leading Indian classical music promoters here in UK, and
আপনি
many thanks.
বাঙালি?
Sorry.
আপনি বাঙালি?
Hey, bah bah bah.
আমি খুব ভালো বাংলা বলতে পারি।
क्या बात আজকে কিন্তু কালার জি আপনার কাছে আজকে হালকা আমার আবদার থাকবে আমি জানি না কতটা জসরাতজির কাছে আপনি শিখেছেন সুতরাং পারহ্যাপস একটু গলার সৌন্দর্যটা একটু দেখবো
না, আমি
একটু যদি
গাইও। আমি গান
wow
শিখেছি ওনার কাছে।
fantastic how beautiful is this how beautiful is this so this is an honor to have a the finest Indian classical violinists at this moment, Vidushi Kalal Ramnath. Saudha is extremely honored to feature her talk and a bit of music, like I told you. Many thanks who are watching now. Please share this at the time of COVID. This is a bit of, I mean, we all know this is unprecedented time. This is a very depressive time, very difficult time. So please share this and let the whole world know and let the whole world be the part of this celestial music today and celestial musical session. I was really looking forward to listen from Kalal Ramnath. And then as part of this series, as you know, many other musicians, filmmakers, poets all around the world already have been featured and will be featured soon. So please stay tuned. I would like to introduce our panel members today. Shaheen Mitul, Many thanks for joining. Shahid Mitul is a spoken word artist, so in between talk, we'll have some poetry just to complement music and musical conversation. So many thanks, Mitul, to be the regular panel member and joining today.
Thank you so much and warm welcome to Kalal Ramnath ji.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then many thanks to Jasmine Chaudhary, a political activist and a music and literature connoisseur for joining today. Many thanks for joining.
Thank you, Kasturbai. Warm welcome to Kalal Ramnath and everybody else on the panel.
Many thanks. So please share it. Please share it and like I told you earlier, and those who are watching
I
already.
just get my speaker for playing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, sure. And then I also would like to, Sanjayda, I can see you properly now. You were perpendicular. Anyway, so many thanks for joining as our regular panel member, Sri Sanjay, as you know, one of the leading Tago singers here in UK and a promoter of good music. He runs 3 wonderful organizations, Robika, Robi Bharati, and Niyam. Many thanks for joining, Sanjayda.
Thank you very much. Namaskar to all of you. Thanks for having me. Thanks to Kalaji. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Sanjayda, did you find it okay? Did you find the link okay to share?
Yes.
So that's visible. That's okay. Fantastic. So we can first of all let us have something divine. Perhaps let me, if everything is okay, I would like to share a screen from YouTube, just to start with Kalal Ramnath ji's devotional music. So let's go and see. Thank you. So go for have some coffee. Abhiha? শেয়ার করতে যাচ্ছি এরপর Many, many thanks.
Thank you.
I'm sure those who are watching, they are transcended to another world after this beautiful, beautiful, serene, celestial, and sacred recital of Rag Kafi. Many, many thanks, Kalaji, for beautiful recital. As those who are watching, please share it and let others being the part of this wonderful musical time, musical moments, breathtaking musical moments, and talk conversation. As you know, Kalal Ramnath ji is an Indian classical violinist. She belongs to the Mewati Gharana. She was awarded the Sangeet Natak Academy Puraskar in 2016, Rashtriya Kumar Gandharva Shawani in 2008, and the Pandit Jasraj Gaurav Puraskar in 1999. Kalal Ramnath ji, first child of Srimati Malati and Sri T.N. Mani in Chennai, India. Kalal Ramnath ji was born into a family that includes violinists Sri T.N. Krishnan ji and N. Rajam ji. Her father, T.N. Mani, was known for his contributions to Indian film music. At the age of 2.5, Kalal Ramnath ji was initiated into violin and vocal training by her grandfather, Narayan Layar ji. She represents the beginning of the 7th generation of violinists in her family. It has been said that her grandfather bribed her to practice by offering her sweet and candy. So it looks like Kalal Ramnath ji is a big fan of sweets and candy.
Yes.
We'll discover
Yes.
all those things. She started performing from the age of 14 when her aunt presented her in concert. For 15 years, she studied with the Mewati vocalist Jasraj, the great dance of Indian classical music. So personally, I look forward to listen to her vocal music today. So that is a great exploration for us and for our audience as well. So many thanks, Kalal Ramnath ji. First of all, we would like to know about your starting in music. So did you know even before, because you were born in such a great musical family. So after you were born and you realized, while you were a child, did you know that you would be a world shaking musician like you are now?
When I was started on the violin, all I knew was I liked music and I wanted to play music. And of course, I was a child, so my grandfather had to bribe me. But I think I became more serious at the age of 7 when I listened to a recording of Pandit Jasraj ji in the radio from his LP record singing Bhim Palas, Shuddha Sarang, Gorak Kalyan and Bilas Khani Todi. And then listening to Vidushi Kishori Amonkar singing
Wow.
Bageshri and Bhupali, the album of hers. And I thought to myself, if music was so beautiful, this is what I wanted to do. That they probably made me decide that this is what I wanted to do. Though my grandfather had decided it a long while back when I was born, probably that I had to become a musician. But I probably got really into music after listening to these two doyens sing. And then I had my aunt Rajamji in my family. So she's my father's sister. So my Pishi. So she was.
Right.
So looking at her growing up, she was my idol. I wanted to look like her. I wanted to dress like her. So I wanted to be everything that a little child, when you look up to somebody, you wanted to be like them. So yeah, she was another inspiration in my life to take up this instrument. Yes.
So would you talk a bit briefly about your lessons, talim, perhaps from your family, but firstly from your dad, and who else and eventually you went for vocal music from another doyen, so doyen of
Yeah.
Indian classical music, Jasraji. So if you talk a bit more on this, please.
So my grandfather started me very early. So at the age of 2.5 and 3, you cannot expect a child to sit for more than 5 minutes with focus.
True.
So my grandfather would bribe me with these little sugar-coated cumin, So they were of different colors. So he would place all of them in a plate for me, and then tell me 100 times of this exercise, and you can take this color, and that color, and just to get my focus while playing, he would say, in the 100 times, if you make one mistake in between, then we go back to 1. Start from 1 again. So I had to be really focused not to make a mistake so that I could go and get them. So that is how, and if I made a mistake, he would make me go back to 1. So that was very irritating. So as a child, my focus came because of that.
Right.
And he was a very, he would not scold me. He would not put any pressure on me that I had to do music or anything. But the way he handled me as a child, I would, if he didn't talk to me, I would feel, he would just stop talking to me if he was not happy. And for me, my grandfather was my world. If he said the sun rose from the west, I would say, yes, it rose from the west, not from the east. So he was everything to me. So I was a sick kid when I was young. So he would tell me stories to put me to sleep. He would sit with me. He would make me do my school work, homework. He would drop me in school, pick me back from school, buy me candies on the way back home from school. He was everything to me. And similarly, he wouldn't eat if I didn't serve him food.
True.
So the way he brought me up, actually he increased my love for music, and he didn't have to tell me to practice, because I wanted to practice, one, and the little bit of rebellion in me was also squashed because of the way he treated me And he made me feel how important music is to me, not forcing it on me. So, whatever I am today, I would say, is all due to my grandfather working on me as a child, bringing this
And
love
then
for
you,
music. And the lessons, my grandfather maintained a diary of my lessons, and I still
yeah,
have it. So, from 1969 to 1975, he has maintained this diary of what I played every day, which rag I did, Vilambit and Vistar, and Rag Vistar and everything, and all the other compositions. And I still have the diary with me. So, school was very equally important, but music was, I think, more important. I think I wouldn't say more important. I think both were given equal importance. So, and he was there with me, whether it be my academics or my music. He wouldn't go to sleep until I had done everything, and he had seen to it that I was ready with it. So, this continued till about, say, I would say till 1984, 85. My grandfather
right,
was, yeah, and then my dad died in 1982. After that, my grandfather kind of started feeling really old.
right,
So then, it was a shock because he lost two of his sons in, quick succession. So he kind of started withdrawing himself. And there came a period when I didn't know where I was going. And then Ustad Zakir Hussain had come to pay his condolences for me losing my father. And he said that at that time I used to play exactly like my aunt Rajan.
mm,
And he said, what is the point in you imitating your aunt? Everybody would love to listen to the original. Nobody wants an imitation.
wow, what a precious words you said. Yes,
Yeah.
true.
So then I
Mm,
had to, then that set me thinking. And the thing that he offered was I could come and stay at his house and then think of what I need to do. But then I had school. I was in my 11th, 12th class, and then I had college. So until I finished college, there was no way I could think of what I needed to do, just keep up with my practice. And then my first concert of my life, before even my dad died when I was 12 or 13 years old, was done by Pandit Jasraj ji. So I call him Mama ji. So so he's been there, guiding me as a
good.
mentor for a long time. And when I finished my college and everything, I put forth the question to him, asking if he would accept me as his disciple, since I wanted to change what Zakir Bhai said was working in my mind, that I needed to be unique and original. So then I
Good.
asked him if he would accept me as his disciple, and he very kindly acceded to accept me.
Wow.
So and then my training started under him.
Vocal music. So, is it possible, Kalal Ramnath ji, to sing something that you? I mean, we'll have to explore a bit more on your vocal music, but before we go into the next conversation, is it possible to sing something for ourselves and for our audience, and then we'll go for audience's feedback as well, and to our Tamil melody.
What do I sing? I think the music that I play is totally his gaiki. So I completely, what do you say, reproduce whatever he sings on the violin. But yes, I can give an example of what I do. So, what do I sing? My singing pitch will be different from my playing pitch.
Right.
Battery 50%.
Why is this What do you want me to sing? I don't even have anything in my mind.
Kalaji,
Anything devotional, yeah.
Yeah.
Kalaji, namaskar.
Namaskar.
I will come to you and I will try to remind you about the thing when we met. But first of all, I would like to say that you know, the tanpura, the sound of the tanpura, sometimes it creates distortion. You know, so the thing is, if you could put if you have got headphone, then it will be better if you could put um, uh, headphone. You know,
I have the
yeah.
headphone in the computer already.
Oh, computer. Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay. Yeah.
So I can reduce the volume.
Yeah, I think that will be better because otherwise it
Cool.
might create the distortion.
So best perhaps if you sing anything devotional, Kalaji, anything devotional to start with. Perhaps bhajan, Jasraj's.
कहा करूं वैकुंठ ही जाए
Shabbat.
कहा करूं वैकुंठ ही जाए कहा करूं वैकुंठ ही जाए जहाँ नहीं नंद जहाँ नहीं जशोदा जहाँ नहीं नैन जहाँ नहीं जशोदा जहाँ न गोपी वालन गाते कहाँ करूं वैकुंठ ही।
क्या बात, क्या बात, क्या बात. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is such a blissful moments. Kalal Ramnath ji sang as well. Let us, can I go back to Mitul and see what our audiences are saying?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, Kamalveer Singh ji has sent his welcome greeting to you, Kalal.
Kamalveer ji,
Thank you.
many thanks for your support. One of the finest violinists here in UK and a great supporter of Saudha and a wonderful human being and a wonderful ghazal singer as well. Kamalveer ji is being featured again for violin in 21st of May as well. So many thanks for watching and many thanks for your kind comment.
He has also said your violin shows so much of Pandit Jasraj ji's gayaki.
Wow, wow. We presented her Kafi just to start the session from YouTube, and she sang a bit from Kafi now, and then we'll explore a bit more on her music, on her vocal music as well. That is perhaps will be a good exploration for audiences. Yeah,
And then
please go.
Narasimha Sinai, he said, beautiful ear-soothing concert. Salutes to Vidushi Ramnath ji. There is a question, Abhijit Datta, is it necessary for instrumentalists to have deep knowledge of vocal music or knowledge of the basics is enough?
Kalaranaji, come back to yes, please go on.
Deep knowledge of vocal music is definitely necessary. Okay, just the basics of music anybody has to know, but the more you know about vocal music, the more it's going to be easier for you to express yourself through your instrument.
Thank you. Prashanta Bhaumik, pranam to Kalaji. Prakash C. Bhadra, good evening, ma'am. Dalia Nayak, wow.
Please share, those who are watching, please share and let your friends be the part of this celestial season of music, celestial moments of music. Yes, many thanks. Let me come back to Sanjoyda. You perhaps met Kalal Ramnath ji in a live performance.
Yeah, I don't know whether Kalaji could remember this or not. There was a Carnatic music festival in Croydon. Kalaji, could you remember that one?
No.
No? Vijay Rajputji was there. You know, yeah, and you were there, and Jayashree Sengupta, you three were the judges there.
Okay.
So, yeah, and you three were the judges, and I met you over there, and you gave a wonderful speech about the performers, those who have performed over there. So there we met, and yeah, we had a bit of chat, but absolutely, I was really mesmerized to listen to you and to see you. I was eagerly waiting for this day.
Thank
so
you.
I mean, it was just for a day, so that's why I know that it will be very difficult for you to remember that day. But the three of you are like Vijayji, as I said, Jayashree Gupta, and you. So I met you there.
It
So,
must be
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. Long time back. It was like 2008 could be
Yeah.
8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was long time back.
Yeah.
Mm. And you are completely unchanged.
Many thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
time can't make any change or on Karaji's face. Is that what you're trying to say?
I
Yeah.
think it's just the music.
Yes. It seems that the divine power, the enjoyment, we all can feel. Looking at your smile, the way you play, it's absolutely a divine feeling.
Thank
That's
you.
what I can
No,
say.
this is true, Kalaji. This is, I mean, when an audience looks at you, they find a source of peace, source of serenity, and the way you smile is so divine. So that reflects your music as well. So you through your face, your divine and celestial music gets reflected. That is true. I completely agree with this.
I
Uh,
think I want to say something when you talk about this. Music is like meditation for me. When I start playing, for me, I may have had a very bad day, or an earthquake can happen, but it won't disturb me. I keep going on with my music.
Aha.
wow,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I'm sure that everyone, those who are listening to this one, those who are enjoying this part, definitely they could realize and they could sometime feel that, this is the part, this is the power of music. That's all we
I
could
remember
realize.
when I was 19 years old, I had this concert in this big venue in Mumbai, okay,
Mm-hmm.
1,000-seater auditorium. And then I had about 15 people in it, 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really, really, uh, what do you say, disappointed and, really shaken that nobody has come to this concert. And at that time, there was a critic named Mr. Mohan Nadkarni, who's no more today.
Mm-hmm.
So he came and told me, Kala, you just play because you want to play a good concert, and don't play for the audiences. Just play it because it should be your prayer and your offering to the Almighty. Never think of it like you're playing a concert. You do your best, be sincere in what you do, and leave the rest to the Almighty. And you won't believe. He said, you never know, in these 15 people, there may be somebody who might like your music so much and do something great for you. And he was bang on, because that day, after I finished, I got the first album of my life. I got signed for the first album of my life
Oh,
among the 15 people. So that day I realized, and I did as he said. I said, it's okay, no audience, nobody, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do my best. So I just
amazing.
played, and from then on, that has been my lesson through
Oh,
all these years. Doesn't matter, I'll do my best. And sure, he's taken care.
So
absolutely.
Kalaramnath,
Absolutely.
Yes.
one other question that I was thinking of,
Mm.
and perhaps our audiences would like to know: did you come closer to L. Subramaniam Jayaba, and did you
No,
manage to?
I haven't learned from him or anything, but
But
he's a
did
great
you?
musician.
But did you go? Did you? Yeah, right.
What?
Okay. So just wanting to know whether. Yeah, please go on.
Yeah, his elder brother L. Vaidyanathan had learnt for a brief period from my grandfather. Apart from that, uh,
Right.
you know, I do a bit of fusion music work too. So in that realm,
Right.
I had listened to one of his compositions, and that inspired me to create something in Rag Charukeshi, which
So,
I had announced that I dedicate this to him
right,
because I have been inspired by his music.
right.
Beautiful.
Okay, okay. Music, uh, to be honest, there is no any doubt for myself and those who are watching that through this celestial music, you are also making history by connecting so many audiences all around the globe and making them tearful when they listen to you. So I was thinking, because obviously from your talk, everyone can realize, like myself, that music is a part of devotion for you, part of prayer for you, and part of, like I said, sadhana, and spiritual. You try to connect a source, a immense source of spirituality with your music. Just I personally am keen to find out when you play a violin. I'm sure number of people who cries inside, who listens the lamentation of their souls when they listen to you. Would you cry yourself when you play, or when you listen to any good music? Would you come up with that level of lamentation and cries, something like this?
Um,
I mean,
I have to
that
tell you
pain,
an incident that happened in my life in childhood.
right?
So when I used to play when I was 12 and 13, my aunt and the rest of the members in my family would say, bring in some feel into the music, bring in some feel. And here I would think to myself, I would get frustrated hearing that, thinking, what is it I need to do? I'm playing exactly, doing as they say. What is this feel they're talking of? Little did I know that the feel they're talking of is what you feel from inside, you know.
Mm.
And that first experience of it was when I lost my father. About 3-4 months after I lost him, you know, I was literally in tears when I was playing. And then I felt, oh, is this what they call feel? I could feel the change in my playing that day. And I said, oh, is this what they talk? Bring in some emotion into your music, you know? And and then I think experiences in life, you know, make, that's why they say a musician gets better when he's 40 or 45 as he ages, you know, like
True.
wine, he ages. So I think the more experience you gain in life, and um, and what is it, whatever you have to go through in life, I
Mhm.
think starts getting expressed through your music.
Yeah.
For
So,
every musician, I feel this is. And then if you get everything very easily in life, you do not learn to
Yes,
value what you have.
absolutely.
true.
But when you
Absolutely.
Very
struggle for it, when you struggle to get to where you are, then your music speaks about the
true.
struggle. So
This is.
if today you think that my music touches, you know, the core of a listener, I think it's all these experiences that I've had in life
Oh,
that's brought me to where I am, and that's why my music speaks.
wow, wow. Perhaps this might seem a bit personal, but
Mm.
you can. Uh, Yahud Manuhin, a great
Mm.
violinist, you
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
listen to him. And then
yeah.
he said he was asked one day uh, when he plays,
Mm.
and then he also sometimes used to close his eyes. And
Mm.
then he was asked what he imagines when he plays. And he answered all artists, all musicians are like painters. So they just try to paint a face. So perhaps,
True.
they try to perhaps paint the pain they have, or kind of they know about they experience some pain physically, or sometimes virtually, or sometimes from friends. They perhaps try to paint this, or like you said, it is after 40, 45, the musicians get matured, they have the life vision, they have world vision perhaps, and then it enriches their music. But when you play, would you uh, would you have anything in your mind, or you try to imagine something for others to be transcended to different world?
To tell you the truth, before I go on stage, there is only one prayer I do to the Almighty, saying, I am going there and it is your seat of knowledge that I am going to be sitting. If
How
I
beautiful.
do well, all the credit goes to you.
Bravo.
If I do not do well, this is I this is where I blackmail the Almighty, saying, then also that I will give the credit to you only. I'm not the one performing there. You're going to do everything through me. So
It shows that how much attachment you have got with the, supreme power. The sentiments, the feelings, the prayers, everything is related to each other.
so when
Yeah.
I go on stage, I'm completely blank, and I just go there thinking, now whatever I do, it's up to the Almighty.
It's a
He will
surrender as
speak
well,
to me.
right?
Yes, it's a
Supreme
surrender.
surrender.
Complete,
Surrender.
Supreme surrender.
complete surrender.
Supreme surrender.
Total surrender.
Oh,
And when people appreciate me towards the end, I do not take any of the credit. At that time, I keep telling it's all yours.
How beautiful. Kalarnaji, is it possible just to, because our audiences are uh, being desperate, if you kindly play something just now, is it, just perhaps 3 or 4 minutes, or
Sure.
yeah. And Carnatic poetry is also very powerful. So after you play, I would request Jasmine to read some haunting verses of poetry just to complement this beautiful music. And Mithul, we haven't forgotten the audiences, so please write it down if there is anything to note about. And just to let the audiences know, we haven't forgotten, we'll come back to you soon.
So this is all you can see of the violin, but you can
Okay,
hear.
okay.
So I'll play Rag Kedar
Wow, wow.
because it's the favorite of Lord Krishna.
Exactly.
And also it's a rag which makes you feel more cheerful and looking
True.
forward to better times.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank
some excerpt from Kalidasa. It is I who laugh, it is I who make love, and then feel shame. It is I who lie dying, with a rattle in my throat. I am sinner, I am saint. I am the beloved and the betrayed. I have no joys that are not yours, no aches which are not yours. I too call myself I. Yeah.
How beautiful, Kalaji. Many thanks, Jasmine. Kanhare Nanda Nandan.
Nandana. Yes.
Kya baat. How
I'm
beautiful.
glad you could recognize the composition.
Exactly. I heard a lot. I heard this one at least about 1,000 times. Kanhare Nanda Nandan. So, Kalaji, it's such a great honor to have this music along with this beautiful conversation. Mitul, can I come back to you and see what audiences are saying? If they have requested anything, if they said anything, if they've said anything so far?
Yeah, absolutely. Chandula Herath. Madam, when I met you in Sri Lanka, I started to watch your YouTube videos. I practiced your lessons. Now you are the hero of my music world. I'm hoping your blessings for my future music education. Thank you, ma'am. Stay safe.
She is the shaper of today's violin in the world. Many thanks for beautiful comment. Yeah.
And then Kamal ji has said, Kalaji, I remember you playing in my house with Ustad Fayaz Khanji on tabla. Loved that evening.
Could you remember? Can you remember, Kalaji?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I
And then-
remember that very well. Yes.
She is a violinist as well, Shwarna Kuntia.
Kuntia,
Apology for not pronouncing your name correctly. Yes, I agree. It's the total surrender that actually helps you to bring the best in you. Thank you to the organizers for giving an opportunity to listen to good artists.
Fantastic. Many thanks. In this difficult time, this is the best way to engage. This is the best way to meditate. This is the best way to forget what is happening outside. So many thanks for watching and letting others have this similar opportunity. Anything
And
to
then
add?
there is a question, Claudia Madhurima. Kalaji, I'd like to ask how much time would you advise to spend on the warm-up before starting practicing the rag? Thank you so much. Deep pranams.
I think
Kalaji,
about
you would like to answer?
15 to 20 minutes of warm up before you get into the rag. So some exercises for warm up would be good. Yeah.
Something that I personally feel to ask you, in your personal approach to Indian classical music, how would you differ these two different branches briefly, Carnatic and Hindustani? Because you are in both, I mean, you mastered in both flows.
No,
So
I haven't mastered Carnatic. Let me be very frank. I learned only Hindustani.
Hindustani, I know, but
yes, I did not learn Carnatic, but I've heard a lot of Carnatic music because it has been there in my family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've heard a lot of Carnatic music, but I have not learned it. You know, like really, as I've mastered, I wouldn't say I've mastered this. Whatever I have been able to learn here, I haven't spent that much of time in Carnatic music learning it. Both have the same pillars of rag and tal. It's the same thing.
Right.
The difference comes in the way one approaches the two different streams of music and the presentation, the forms that we have. Hindustani music is more, I would say, we have a lot more independence to improvise, whereas Carnatic music is more structured. We also have a structure of rag and tal, but we do have the independence to, you know, approach
Go
it
beyond.
differently. Like if I have to give an example, like when I was young, I heard Vidushi Kishori Amonkar. Usually Ahir Bhairav is sung with pa in the tanpura, but
Yes.
she used ma in the tanpura, and then the whole texture of the rag, the color of the rag changed, and it was like an eye opener to me. Oh, you could do this too.
True.
Whereas
Yeah.
Carnatic, before you do such things, you would be thinking twice whether that will be accepted. In the north, we have the freedom to do such things.
And when you play your own Gharana, which is Mewati, would you have to follow strictly your Gharana, or you took a freedom to try with other Gharanas as well?
See, earlier, the reason the Gharana system could come up was because people had no connection with the world. So the artists who belonged to the region of Mewat, they became Mewati Gharana. The artists who were in Gwalior, in that area, they all sang the style of Gwalior Gharana. So there were schools established, styles established from the place they hailed. But today, the world is in your pocket with the phone, with computers, with YouTube, with you name it. You have everything with you. So personally, I feel
True.
The differences between gharanas are diminishing, because everybody has the what do you say, the what word should I use for it, you know, you have the option to pick the best out of each gharana and make it yours.
True. True. Very true. Very true.
Kalaji,
Would you be able? Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Kalaji, I have heard that you used to stay in Kolkata, right?
Yes.
And you used to go to VG Jogji, Pandit VG Jogji.
I used to go to his house
Yeah.
because when I was 7 years old,
Mm-hmm.
Panditji had come to my house to hear me.
Right.
So,
Right.
and then I had played Mia Malhar for him.
Uh-huh.
And when I stayed in Calcutta, I lived very close to where he lived. He lived in Purnadas Road, and
Purnadas Road, yeah.
I lived in Hindustan Road.
All right. I'm from Calcutta as well.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
why.
না
Yeah.
কালাজি আপনি তো বাংলায় কথা বলতে পারেন,
আমি
বাংলা একটু
বাংলাতে
আমাদের
বলতে
দর্শকদের
পারি।
শোনা উচিত।
হ্যাঁ, আমি বাংলা বলতে পারি,
বাহ,
ভালো করে বলতে পারি।
বাহ,
তখন যখন
fantastic.
আমি কলকাতায় ছিলাম, I would walk down to his house and then just sit with him and hear what he has to say about music. মানে শেখার অনেক ছিল ওইখানে। I would just go and
আমি
sit.
প্রথম বুঝলাম যখন আপনি পিসি বললেন,
হ্যাঁ,
I picked up the word, পিসি যখন বললেন আমি বুঝলাম যে আপনি বাংলাটা। আর ওখানে পল্লব বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়ের সঙ্গে আপনার দেখা হয়েছে।
হ্যাঁ হয়েছে, হ্যাঁ মনে আছে।
হ্যাঁ আমরা রবীন্দ্র ভারতীতেই পড়েছি, ও আমার খুব বন্ধু পল্লব বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়, আমাদের এখানেও পারফর্ম করেছে এবং করবে অ্যাকচুয়ালি। তো তাই আপনার সম্পর্কে কথা হয়েছিল, তো ভীষণ ভালো লাগে আপনার বাজানো, সে কথা বলেছিল।
আমি হ্যাঁ ওইখানে গিয়ে বসে থাকতাম, মানে উনি শেখাতেন সবাইকে।
পণ্ডিতজির কাছে।
হ্যাঁ, I would just go listen, মানে কি শেখাচ্ছেন, and I would come back and I would go to ITC SRA also, অনেক যেতাম।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
I would go there every Wednesday concert তখন হতো, এখন আছে কিনা আমি জানি না। but I would go and sit and listen to the concerts. And by
কিন্তু
the
আপনি কি ভালো বাংলা বলেন মানে
আমি রাশিদ সবাই we used to sit and discuss the concert কি হয়েছে কলকাতায় যখন ছিলাম ছোট ছোট প্রোগ্রাম হতো আর রাশিদ আর আমি either he was first or I was first or he would say sing second. We'd do all these little house concerts.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
Wow.
I'm talking about 87, 86.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Mitu, would like to add anything? Would like to ask?
I am enchanted. So beautiful. You speak. Your talk is as sweet as your music.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I read a few comments from the audience?
Please do.
Flooded with comments. Shornaji has requested Kaladi would love to hear Pilu or Kafi Bhajan if possible.
Wow.
প্রথমে কাফি ভজনই তো আপনি
একটু পিলু থেকে যদি একটু গাওয়া যায় আমি একটু জানতেও চাইবো your memories with Jasraj-ji, but please continue with the comment. Please continue with the comment.
And then Ananda Gupta has requested Bilkashni Tori, if possible.
Bilaskhani Tori.
Bilaskhani, yeah.
Okay.
Then Aniruddha Mukherjee is watching. He said, Pranam Didi.
A friend of us, Aniruddha Mukherjee, who comes to always for Saudha's event, is now stuck in USA, but we look forward to have you next year as part of Saudha's events. Yes.
And then Ochinto Mukherjee, ma'am, last time I had heard you in Bengal Classical Festival, you were awesome. The way you start the phrases of Raaga, it had made everyone mesmerized. Till that time, I acknowledged you as my guru. Very long message. As my guru, and you are the reason. That's why I am now in India to learn Indian classical music. Lots of pranam, ma'am. Every time I learn a raga, I at first try to find your playing, which helps me to be clear about the color and dignity of that raga.
Exactly. You said what you want to say. Ochinto ji, you said what we tried to say actually. You made our effort a bit easier. So did he go from here to India to learn music because he was so intrigued by Kalaji's violin? Is that, or he went from Bangladesh to India? Perhaps Bangladesh because he did you play in Bengal?
Yes,
festival?
I played in the Bengal Classical Music Festival.
Yeah, so he perhaps mentioned.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, in Dhaka. Yes.
So Kalaji, is it possible to perhaps if you kindly continue your memories with Jasraj-ji, and then Bilaskhani Tori, Pilu, whatever you want to recite, but if you perhaps initially would say a few words on Jasraj-ji, because you saw him from very close contact, very close point of view.
With Jasraj-ji, I joined him.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a lag in the talk and the.
Yeah.
So when I went to Jasraj-ji when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And my first learning from him was because I played, I think, can you hear me? I think there's a lag here.
No, we can hear you right. We can hear you completely okay, yes.
So my first learning from him was, my first lesson rather, was when he asked me to accompany him in Kolhapur.
Right.
So I went to Kolhapur and then I sat with him on stage that day. And after that day, all my lessons with him has been totally on stage because he knew me as a musician who had played earlier, because at the age of 12, 13, he had done my first concert, so he knew what I played. So the only thing that was difficult for me was to change my style, and so for that I had moved to Bombay by then, and I was staying at his residence, and for 6 months I would sleep probably 5 to 6 hours or 4 to 5 hours, depending on what my schedule was. And I would be up early in the morning practicing, and I did nothing except immerse myself in music because I wanted to make the transition happen faster and quicker. So, and I remember after 5 6 months I had a radio national program, my first radio national program, and in the evening I happened to mention that, my radio national program is coming today, and he was at home, so he immediately called for the radio and he listened, and his family, everybody was there, and then they were all completely shocked as to how much I had changed everything. And yeah, and in 6 months I changed everything. So that's how I changed my style of playing.
So would it be possible to sing a bhajan that you learned from?
I think that Kaha Karu Vaikuntha Hi Jai, which I sang,
Yeah,
was his in Kafi. It
right.
was
Anything from
his.
Pillow? Because someone asked.
Pillow. I don't remember anything coming to my mind right now,
Right,
but I do know a composition. It's a dadra.
right.
It's
Okay. Abad. 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 Uh, uh,
Barsan lagi,
Yaar
avan
badliya.
bundiya raja.
Yes.
Tore
Ah,
bin lage na mora jiya.
how
Yes.
Kya
beautiful
baat
that. How beautiful that. Wow.
hai.
Reading from Hafiz, translated by Daniel Ladinsky. Leave the familiar for a while. Let your senses and bodies stretch like a welcome season onto the meadows and shores and hills. Open up to the roof. Make a new watermark on your excitement and love. Like a blooming night flower, bestow your viral fragrance of happiness. And giving up on our intimate assembly, change rooms in your mind for a day. All the hemispheres in existence lie beside an equator in your heart. Greet yourself in your thousand other forms as you mount the hidden tide and travel back home. All the hemispheres in heaven are sitting around a fire, chatting, while stitching themselves together into the great circle inside of you.
Many thanks,
Lovely.
Mithul. Many thanks. The next thing that I would like to know, Kalaji, did you, you played mainly and predominantly traditional Hindustani classical music, but did you come up with, idea of experiment just to connect as many global audiences as possible, amalgamate this music with other form of global arts, so that other people from audiences from other culture can listen our
Yes.
best through their input or their contribution? Did you do anything like this before?
Um, when South Africa opened up, I went to South Africa and worked with African musicians. So Afro jazz and Indian music came together for the first time there.
Right.
Then there was this group, rock group called the Doors.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did
there,
you find it? Did you find it a bit conflicting with the sublime and serene thread of our music when you try to work with rock music? Or you?
the group wasn't there. Jim Morrison had passed away a long time ago, the
Yeah,
singer. And
yeah.
the keyboardist, who was one of the main persons who created the group along with Jim Morrison, Ray Manzarek. That was my first, I would say, tryst with working with other genres.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a concert called the Indian Summer after a composition by the Doors, titled Indian Summer. So the way I looked at it was, every music has something to offer.
True.
It's for us to take the good and leave the stuff that we don't want. So the way I connect with other genres is I hear the music and then I translate it to our ragas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at where it can fit in our module, in our musical module. And then from there, and also another very important thing for me during this collaboration is how the artist is as a person. That matters a lot to me when I work with people. So the vibrations that I get from the other artists, it's very important. Even when you go on stage, all these things matter. So if it is positive, then it reflects in your music.
True.
So true. So true.
Very true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So these are the things I look at. I've done a lot of collaborations with the London Philharmonic Orchestra, with the London Symphony. Then
Any specific collaboration with Western classical?
that's what with London
London
Philharmonic
Philharmonic. Yeah.
and London Symphony. So London with the Philharmonic, I wrote a piece called Indian Seasons. It was a concerto, and it premiered with the Hague Philharmonic, and then the London Philharmonic played it in Brighton, in the Brighton Festival along with me. And then London Symphony wrote a composition in my honor. And I played with them the same composition. It was written by one composer called Max. Max, I forget his last name. Yeah, but yeah. So, and then I've also worked with jazz musicians. I work with flamenco musicians.
Flamenco musician as well. Oh,
yes. So, yeah.
So global, you explored the global art forms.
Yes.
But apart from music, did you have any interest in another art form, poetry perhaps, or painting, or any other art form? I know that, yeah.
You know, I have a lot of interest in all art forms, but the question is how much of time can you devote to an art form?
True.
So the one I do takes all my time. I mean, everybody feels bored with this lockdown, okay? But here I am still short of time. I have so many things to do, all with regard to music, and I'm always behind. I'm never like ahead of things. I'm always behind. Yeah.
Mithil, is it possible to read from audience's feedback?
Yes, absolutely. Sandeep Bhatt, Pranam ma'am, feeling so fortunate to hear from you and great blessings so frequently these days can call it positive side of the lockdown. Every time get to learn so much. Thanks ma'am and big thanks to the organizers.
Many thanks, Sandeep. Many thanks for your kind words.
Then Claudia Madhurima has a question. Dear Kalaji, I'm a 27-year-old Spanish girl who moved to India to learn Hindustani classical music 2 years ago. Could you please tell us some advice for those Westerners, musicians who are trying hard to learn this music? Thank you very much. Pranams.
The one thing I'd like to say is not to expect quick results, because this music is like when you go to school, you're learning a total new idiom completely. When you start school in kindergarten, it takes you about 15 years to graduate, or even 17 or 18 years, when you can call yourself, oh, you know something about the subject. So when you go to school in kindergarten, when they teach you the alphabets, you do not ask what is A, what is B. You just learn what is A and what is B. You just pick up A, B, C, D. You do not ask for logic in those alphabets. Similarly, when you learn from somebody Indian music, in the beginning, do not ask questions, surrender, learn, and slowly you will start understanding as you grow. Grow in this music, in this subject, you'll start understanding more and more as to what is A and what is B and what is C and what is D. And give yourself a lot of time, and do not expect quick results. The more you surrender, the more the music will come to you.
Fantastic. What a great advice. Mithul, anything to add?
So there is no shortcut in music.
No.
Absolutely. That's the message for all. That's very important.
Anything to add?
You learn music because you love it and you want to give your best. Don't learn with an ultimate goal of, oh, I need to play a concert, I need to do this, I need to get so much of name and fame. That you don't know. That all is
Yeah, where you are going to and where you are going up to. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it's absolutely no such expectations will be there.
no.
Mm. But
Mitul,
Kalaji, you must have
yeah,
heard so many Tagore songs while you
Yes,
were in Calcutta, and also,
yes,
uh,
yes.
there is.
yeah, that's very interesting because yesterday it was Pochishe Boishak.
Ha.
Uh, so I
Tagore's
know that
birthday.
you must have gone through. So which are the ragas you felt that which along with the lyrics which touched you and you would like to play if you are asked to play any Tagore songs?
Would you know? Would you know? Would you? I mean, know singing wise, would you know any Tagore songs
You
that
know
can?
what? I actually do not remember anything now because, but I was there with my Guruji when he was composing the Radha Robi. I don't know what is the
Hmm.
Radha Robi. I mean,
Radha Robi.
it was all Tagore songs. I don't know in different
Mhm.
rags and Robi Radha, something he was doing.
Right.
Robi or
Robi Radha.
Radha,
Who
Robi
who
or
who did you perhaps this is possible to find it out, but who did you work with? Did you say your
with my
guru?
Guruji Pandit Jasraj ji. He has sung
Jasraj.
those.
Oh.
He sung those songs. They are in YouTube also. Right now,
Hmm.
I don't remember those songs, but if I listen to them
Uh,
once, then I probably can play it. But right now, my mind is totally blank on that
no.
because
That's
I haven't. But I have done all those songs with him, and I
hmm.
remember. And it's just that right now I'm blank.
Right. Okay. But
Uh,
I mean
Was it
the
Sangana Gagane Ghora Ghana Ghota or
yes,
something like
something like that. I
so?
don't know. The tune I'm not
Sangana
remember.
Gagane,
Yes, the tune
yeah,
is
Ghora
I'm
Ghana
not.
Ghat.
I don't. Robi or Radha or something. Some.
yeah. I mean the bhajan that Jasraj ji the introduced.
Mm.
Uh, Quite similar. Tagore's music is a form of bhajan.
Yes,
Any music, any lyrics, you'll find
yes,
submission, supreme
yes,
surrender. So that is
yes,
Tagore.
yes.
Uh, Perhaps next time we see you, Kalaji, we will
Next
ask.
time, if you had told me, I would
Yeah.
have been ready with the composition. But
Okay.
right now, my
Okay.
mind is
No,
blank.
that's understandable. That's understandable. Mitul, any other comments that you want to read?
Yes, there is a question. Do you think Indian classical music should be popularized? There is a lot of effort. It is necessary to make it lighter, mm, to popularize. On the other hand,
Who did ask? Who did ask?
Debashish Gupta, sorry.
Devashishan Gupta.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the other hand, classical music was never popular and limited within certain listeners. It survived hundreds of years. Is there any need to popularize than rather keeping it pure?
Um, there are two sides to it. One side is um, this music was never meant for the masses. This music is always to be sung amongst a small audience because that's when you have this give and take of appreciation and it was all mehfils and baithaks where the concerts were held. And it was always outside in nature, in the midst of nature, because this music has the capability of connecting with nature and the physiology of the individual, and thereby working on the mind. The ragas having the power to influence the mind, to color the mind. So,
One thing to add, perhaps. Yes, please continue, Kalaji. Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
what do you want to add?
I mean, for Devashish and Guptaji's
Yeah,
comment,
yeah.
uh, Saudha, the
Yeah.
organization that we run,
Yeah.
is uh, I mean, doing some sort of experiment just to expand the audience network.
Yeah.
So for white audience,
So
for example, for
that's why
non
I'm saying there are two sides to the coin. I'm talking one
exactly.
side is this,
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
one that I said, that
Mm,
this music is not for the masses. The more you try to
true,
make it, to take it to the masses, it is not going to work,
true. Agree.
because you need to develop a ear to listen to this music.
Very true.
You
Very true.
your ear needs to be trained. But if you listen to classical music once, by surrendering yourself and closing your eyes and listening to the music, and not going with no expectations to listen to classical music, and listening to it just for what it is, I'm sure the next time you will again want to go to listen to it, and it will become a habit,
Mhm.
and you will be sucked into it, and you will listen to it all the time. The the plan, or rather what artists are trying to do today, is make it popular.
Exactly.
So if you want to make it popular, what are the things that you can do?
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
not going to get 10,000, 15,000 people every time to listen to you,
True.
which is what popular music brings in, or
Mhm.
maybe
Mhm.
1 million people also,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So then what people think, okay, I play classical music. If I do collaborations,
Mhm.
then you get a different set of audiences coming and listening to you.
True. True.
Yeah.
That's
So by doing this over and over and over, we've come to a stage where it is not fusion, but
Mhm.
it is confusion.
Mhm. Mhm.
So people do not, so all they think is five, six musicians coming together and playing
Mhm.
makes, uh, that's a concert. That's
Mhm.
not a concert. That's the jam session that you have created. There
Mhm.
can be good combination of our music and Western music if you
Mhm.
think of it in that way. Like for example, I worked with the Danish Symphony and the Aarhus Jazz Orchestra in Denmark,
Mhm.
and I had to go to Denmark around 6 times in 3 years
Mhm.
before we premiered the concert. So we took Rag Shri, we took Vilambit Ektal, and we developed Vilambit Ektal with the whole jazz band orchestra and the classical orchestra.
Mhm.
So that is a proper collaboration,
True.
and then bringing that in front of the audiences
Mhm. Mhm.
is totally different.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
if you want to popularize music, that is the way to go.
Mhm. No, but one
Because
thing.
you need to understand their music, they need to understand your music, you need to work with them and come to a meeting point where both can blend.
Exactly, exactly. So
N-
it has to come from two best of two traditions, like Yahud
exactly.
Manuinji and Ravi Shankar ji.
Yes.
It came from two different masters of two different traditions,
Tell
and they
me,
made such a
it is because of Pandit Ravi Shankar today artists like me get opportunities in the West. He
mm,
opened the doors for us by
exactly
doing such collaborations.
true, true. And then
So
one thing, yes, please go on. Yeah,
so if we have to popularize our music, that is the way to go, by doing proper collaborations.
exactly. One thing to add actually on
Yeah.
in here, Kalaji, we have also tried, like you said,
Mm,
once you try to popularize the beauty
mm,
and the gravity of music, you have to compromise, perhaps.
mm,
I mean, and then what we class as classical music. that becomes confusion. Like you said, instead of fusion, it becomes confusion. But we have, as part of Saudha's journey, we try to develop some audiences through some meaningful collaboration. Like sort of, say, for instance, we uh, try to develop this April, we plan to develop a reinterpretation of Frida Kahlo's painting through Indian classical music. So painting will be projected behind the stage, and then classical music will, because our music is melancholic, and
Yes.
so is Frida Kahlo's painting. Kahlo's painting is so much autobiographic, and it talks about the pain and sufferings she went through. And that gives, say, for example, Bimbalasri. Bimbalasri could, we couldn't do it, but we planned some ragas, and that includes Bimbalasri, to to reinterpret some of her great paintings. So that is something, those who are audiences of painting, for an example, we plan to have them in the stage because of, in the venue, because of Frida Kahlo, but they rediscover the beauty of our music without compromising the traditional way of hypnotic presentation of Indian classical music. So I think the creative idea is also important when you do fuse or amalgamate, so that you are not compromising with the beauty of one tradition.
Exactly. You should not compromise.
Exactly.
And the other factor I would say is for confusion happening is the money aspect.
True. True. Mm.
So if you really want to do proper fusion of blending both styles, you know, Western classical and Indian classical, or jazz and Indian classical, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen with just meeting somebody. No, you need to understand the both the idioms properly, and then look at what you can create with both uh, giving giving each other space.
True. True. True.
So yeah.
So, Kalaji, what's your advice for those who are in a way to learn music, devotion, spirituality, and intends to be the devotee of classical music or devotee of spirituality? What's your advice to them?
Just surrender. Just be a student, and this is a vast ocean which even any musician will tell you that one hasn't even scratched the surface. So there is so much more to learn, so much more to do. Don't let you know the thought of I come into you, because the minute the I comes, everything else is gone.
How beautifully said. So
Yeah.
ego has to be deleted from
It
your
has to
mechanism.
be deleted.
Exactly.
And learn, practice, be disciplined, dedicated, and everything will fall in place.
All in place. Wow. So what's your dream about music in for the rest of the life, Kalaji?
For the rest of my life, I would
Yep.
like to play music and pass away playing.
This is a musician-like comment, a great musician-like comment. Many thanks.
And take this music everywhere around the world for people to know what what we have with us, and hopefully our own people will start respecting this.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Anything to add from Sanjayda?
No, I was just listening to her words, the way you were just describing, and it's absolutely everything, every word, what you have, how you have expressed. I was just learning. So it's great to be a part of this one. And another thing is like definitely you are the person, you are the musician who could inspire loads of musicians, those of the students or those who have intention to go into the music, to go deeper. So these words, these phrases could help everyone, including me. Absolutely. So
Many thanks, Jasmine. Anything to add?
Just a absolute privilege to meet you, Kalaji.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I think the warmth of your presence is coming across. Just looking at you on the screen. I know we've got this virtual meeting, but the warmth of your personality, your smile, I can feel it from here. And I think, like Sanjay was just saying, the words of wisdom and inspiration. I think we can apply to whatever field of profession or devotion we choose to take. And I think so many people connecting to this live concert organized by Shodo is a testament to how music can help us to heal through the most difficult times, like we are experiencing now, but also bring us, connect our heart and soul and mind in a way that we can spread these messages of human compassion and love.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything
so
to add,
it's
Mitul?
not only the Facebook concert, I must say, we should share, we should relate, we should. I mean, these messages could really help all of the people, those who are watching, and we
Exactly.
should share this like this. Yeah. So that's what I feel. Yeah,
Very
Mitul.
true. Mitul, anything to add?
I'll read a few comments if that's
Please do.
okay.
Please
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Sanjukta Mitra is watching with us, and she said,
Many thanks, Sanjukta. Many thanks. You're such a wonderful friend. She organizes music in near to Cambridge. A wonderful human being too. Many thanks for what?
Yes.
She has written, Kalaji, I've always admired your music. Now I'm admiring your beautiful insight and explanations as regards your
True. Very
perception of
true. That
Indian
comes from my
classical
heart
music
as well.
in all its aspects. My pranam.
Thank you.
And then Pinaki Das Sharma, it's a great experience really to listen to your own music online, and also thanks for your great words. I listened to you so many times in Dover Lanes. Best wishes.
Thank you.
There is a request for Rag Charukeshi.
Well, I'll go back to this now in the end. Yes. Anything else? Anything else to add, Mitul?
Sunil Roy, regarding popularity of Indian classical music, my personal feeling is that we can draw a parallel with the popularity of sport cricket.
Mhm.
Test match cricket is the main sport, and in that game, one can watch all expertise of all players. The current form of Indian classical music is like test match cricket.
True. So, Kalaji,
Yeah.
I personally count you as a saint of classical music at this time. That
Thank you.
comes from my heart. The way you propagate and preach the message of devotion, the message of ancient Indian philosophy through your music, that is just outstanding, and that will make a legacy. Like Sanjay and Jasmine said, there are so many audiences who are not perhaps musicians, but the words that you said are equally important for them. Through music, through any art form we do, we have to learn the submission, the super submission as a human being. And that is what you said. And that is what you do through your music. That's why perhaps your music is so spiritual, so ethereal, so transcendental. It is such a great honor to have you as part of this concert series. We would like to finish with your last ending, perhaps Charukeshi, if it is okay, because someone just requested. Uh, anything that you like, anything.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever you feel like to present. Kalaji, I'm still searching the name, what you are trying to remember. Bhanu Singh's Padavali, was it?
Yes.
I was just.
It's here in my tongue, and the words are not coming.
Yeah, Bhanu Singh's Padavali, I know. Because there came the Radha. Radha was there, Krishna Radha, they depicted in that
Gobi
one.
Radha
Yeah.
or something. Yes.
Krishna, yeah. I mean, Krishna and Radha, yeah, all of the songs, all of the, I mean, the passion of Radha and Krishna, the love, were absolutely, they reflected in that Bhanu Singh's Padavali. So when you said that Radha, I was just trying to remember. Yeah.
So Kalaji, many thanks. And this
Thank
is
you.
what will be your last words? This is very challenging job after listening this transcendental.
My last words will be thank you all for having me and
No, but
giving me
what's
this
your last word
opportunity
for
to interact with you all.
what's your last word for people who are self-isolating at home? How can they focus?
Listen to what the government says, the doctors and the healthcare people say, because it's for our own good.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the sooner we're all, the more we social distance and this pandemic subsides, we can get back to normal life.
So when you get back to normal life, Kalaji, we look forward to this, and we look forward to feature you as part of Saudha's event next year.
Anytime I'm passing through, I will come and play.
Such a great pleasure to have you. In the meantime, I would like to end with Kalaji's Bhairavi, and that is one of my favorite recital that I watch in YouTube. So we'll share it. But in the meantime, I personally would like to finish with some two lines of a great metaphysical poets of Bengal, Durbin Shah. And after this beautiful recital, I came up with these two lines. Bela gelo, shondha holo, আর কি বাকি আছে বলো, কার বা আসে রইয়াছো বসিয়ারে. A folk music, a folk musician, a folk composer and philosopher. So that means, oh traveler, who are you waiting for? Look, the sun is setting in the western horizon. So many thanks who are watching. Let's finish this beautiful transcendental session with Bhairavi by Vidushi Kalal Ramnath. Tomorrow we will feature Pandit Gaurav Majumdarji, and many other musicians all around the globe will be featured as part of this wonderful session. And many thanks you audiences who are watching and being part of this metaphysically rich session of music, poetry, and other art forms. So let's listen to this beautiful Bhairavi.
Can I leave?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.